Ready to go for Minnesota. Minnesota's, they kind of looked over. They were on the ledge last year, looking over the depths of death in the Big Ten, had their worst season ever. And some of those guys like Nate Mason, Dupree McBrayer, Jordan Murphy, thank you, the Irishman, have been through the tough times, and that's really made them solid. Then they added talent. One of the best freshmen out there, Amir Coffey, is an excellent player, really good. Then you got Reggie Lynch, who probably changes the game defensively, as much as anybody in the league. He's a bigger, stronger defensive force than you get out of Ethan Happ or even Mike Watkins, but he's probably the number one game changer defensively that we've got in our league. So with that, any questions?
It's like get your guards to the basket, and then Lynch blocked 11 shots last game.
But he had a foul.
Well, he had one. Do you?
Well, you have to modify, how well he pursues the ball. You have to understand what it's like to go against a shot blocker, and certain guys do that better than others, but they're clear on what's expected. There's no doubt about it. So it's something you have to deal with and game plan for, no doubt. Hey, Big O, get the clock for me, please. Thank you.
Kind of a big picture question. Minnesota, obviously with that turnaround, they got a top 20 RPI this year. Looking forward, do you see the ability of this group of guys to maybe turn into that next year?
Yeah, I don't think there's any question that can happen. That a similar, they would be a great model for us to follow. And they've done a really good job. They've scheduled appropriately, and they've won big games, and they've won steadily, and they've been very good at home too. The league can get anybody anywhere, but I think that's a plausible situation.
Looking at this year, they're really hot right now, but you guys have beat hot teams this year. How do you go beat Minnesota at home?
Yeah, they've won 7 in a row, so we got them right where we want them. We have to follow our game plan offensively and defensively, and just stick to it. Minimize errors, eliminate losing, all the same stuff. It really doesn't change, but they've got some, Nate Mason is a very good playmaker. Akeem Springs can really get going from the outside. And then that front line of Murphy, Lynch, Canati, Curry are all really tough and big and physical. They got 4 power forward center types of guys. But we have some of those same guys too. These 3 of them probably. And so, in a way, that's a good matchup for us too. Not having to deal with a stretch 4 all the time.
How important is it just to play better after the last couple of results?
Yeah, well, last week was, felt like it's a bad 3 days. It just happened in such a hurry. And Michigan State, we did some things, even though we didn't play well, we did some things right. And then it just got to be this, explosion happened. And then, our guys were not in a good state of mind going into Illinois. But that's no excuse. You just got to get yourself ready every time. You can't feel sorry for yourself. You have to go out and battle. And Illinois played, I thought, an exceptional game. I felt like we gave them way too many threes. When I watched tape, I realized that we actually did contest a whole bunch of those threes, and they still made them. It's just one of those things that they outplayed us. And so, yeah, we need to go out and do the same with somebody else.
We've talked about this a little in the past, but how important is a win in Minnesota for Big Ten tournament seeding?
Well, we're going to have to win one to get out of the bottom 4. I don't think it's inconceivable otherwise, I believe. And so, so we know that. So Minnesota, Michigan, anybody at this point, we've got to go out and beat. It would be a great start at Minnesota.
Tim, after the game the other night, Michael Jacobson gave kind of a varnished view of this is a time of year when some guys can decide to kind of check out mentally and some guys can keep on playing. What do you see from your guys?
Yeah, I think I don't know that Mike was describing our team. I think Mike was talking about what can happen, and he's really, to me, had a coach's voice in that, is that, hey, we can either feel sorry for ourselves and check out, or we could go out there and battle. And tonight we didn't battle, and that's not us. That's what I heard him say.
How's everybody feeling health-wise?
You know, my elbow is really sore, and it's cut and tape, so much tape. But you know, I'm worried about it. But I think with my copper fit from Brett Favre, who personally sent me that, I think I'm gonna be okay for the game.
How about your players?
Oh, they're
Mental
fine.
relief for you.
This is really, I mean, I can't believe how much better it's feeling in just a short amount of time, you know. And it looks good. I mean, like, there's not many guys in the Big Ten wearing this today that are head coaches. And there's, you know, it's just an opening for a joke for some jerk on Twitter. And no, our guys are good. I mean, Ty is certainly beat up this time of year, probably more than I've seen him before. We just got to really try and manage his minutes, I think, and his time in practice.
Speaking of Ty, kind of look at everything he does for you, scorer, distributor, defender, and just the amount of minutes he plays. Look in the Big Ten, can you think of anybody that has that much more responsibility on his players?
Not many. No, Ty has a great amount of responsibility to the success of our team, you know. And I had a great individual meeting with him today, and obviously he's been frustrated. You can see it in his body language. And, Ty, how you doing? Not very good. He says, not very good. You know, I don't like losing. I said, well, Ty, I could have scheduled wins. I could have scheduled us 8-9 wins, you know. I said, but you look, and I showed him the teams that were in the, you know, it's Louisville, Baylor, Nebraska. You know, you don't look far before you get to North Carolina, you know, half the ACC, and some of the best teams that are going to be 1, 2, and 3 seeds are in the same spot we were. So I scheduled for a 6 seed, you know, a 6 or 7 seed, a 5 seed. You know, knowing we probably wouldn't have as many wins as some of those top level teams, but still, I mean, we'd have enough. But, you know, when you schedule, like we're scheduling now for next year, but we did a 2-year cycle, so next year's schedule is going to be no different. So it's a challenge to our guys. But I'm not into I don't need 18 wins. It doesn't do anything for me. You know, I'm not going to the Hall of Fame. So, but I want this team in the tournament. I want them to win in the tournament. And that's how we've done it. So I said, Ty, I mean, that doesn't, just because our season isn't where it wants to be record-wise, that doesn't make us, you know, there's nothing we want to win more. You know, we feel like we gave X amount of games away. But at the same time, you know, let's just compete our butts off, have a blast doing it, and who knows what could happen, because you know we could compete with anybody. And, you know, I think it was just good for him. He and I to spend some time together talking, and it was good. That doesn't make him less beat up, but, you know, he's practiced really hard the last 2 days.
What does it take for him to put out that much effort game in and game out and maintain that level of play?
Well, I mean, it takes a tremendous amount of resolve, like he and his teammates do have. He's a good example for him. And you know, he's done it. The greatest thing about Ty Webster is, you know, he's never quit and won't quit. He sticks with it, tries to do the right things. He doesn't always, not perfect, but, you know, you have to commend him. A lot of guys would tuck tail and run, and he never has. I mean, either from the program or from the responsibility. Anything else? All right, I got to go pack.